Welcome back to the Road Show. This morning in the Buzz, controversies continues to surround a proposed mosque near the site of the World Trade Center. Now, supporters say the site would be a symbol of America's respect for all religions, but opponents say it would just be salt in the wound of the victims of 9/11. Now, over the weekend, President Obama spoke in favor of the plan, launching attacks by conservatives, arguing the proposed plan is insensitive and that, according to recent polls, nearly two-thirds of Americans are against it. But supporters say religious tolerance is the best answer to religious extremism. Take a look.
I believe that Muslims have the right to practice their religion as everyone else in this country.
The White House, the administration, the president himself seems to be disconnected from the mainstream of America.
This wouldn't be a controversy if it was a proposal to build a synagogue or church. We don't prefer people and we don't punish people based on their religion.
So what do you guys think? You know, Republicans are saying that they now have ammunition for November in the midterm elections. Do you think this will impact elections, or what do you think? Is it insensitive for the mosque for the people who belong to this mosque to want to build it there?
Yeah. First off, I think the location's a little, you know, I mean, it's a dicey area.
Yeah,
you know?
and you wonder why.
I think why even touch it? But in the same token, I think if we're going to be the country that, you know, welcomes all the religions and the country that's free to practice whatever you want, and we welcome, you know, people from all over the world, then I think this is the best way to get, you know, to move on. I think we're showing that we're taking the high road if they do decide to build this there, and you know, again, if we didn't do this, I think it would show that, you know, what happened on September 11th affected the way America runs and operates, which is, you know, welcoming everybody, you know, being a free country.
What do you think?
Have you ever been in New York?
I lived there,
yeah. I mean, you ever been in Manhattan? I mean, there seems like there's more people that aren't American than there are walking around Manhattan. This America, too, this country is built on, boy, we'll just it will let anybody come in and set up shop and do whatever they want, legally or illegally. And I'm not saying that the people that are going to build this mosque are illegally here. But you know what? This is what we've decided to do in this country, is to allow people, either Americans, non-Americans, whatever, you come in, you can basically do whatever you want, sometimes without permission, and get away with it. I'm not crazy about the location. I think it's a bit, it's a little too close to home, to be honest with you. But you know, this is the way it is now in this country. You can do it, and whether you agree with it or not, you do it.
It's also interesting that in such a liberal place as New York, there is such a controversy because, you know, typically, you know, if this same tragedy had happened in Salt Lake City, Utah, I don't think there would be any question. I don't think that there would be able to be a mosque built.
No chance.
You know,
I mean, New York City is the
epicenter of the universe.
Yeah.
I mean, the melting pot.
Yeah.
That's why there's a little more leeway, is what you're saying.
I'm also wondering why it is that the people who belong to this mosque want to build in this particular location. Why, you know, maybe
brings attention to it, and I don't think that's right.
Well, I have to say, I do believe that, you know, if you expect that there will be certain freedoms granted to you, then you have to expect that they'll be also extended to other people who don't necessarily think the way that you do and believe what you do, and so it's really interesting to see what's going to happen. I don't think that it'll affect midterm elections, really.
No, I don't either.
But
I don't.
But I think it's interesting. What I am also interested in hearing is, Melissa Sardelli, is what people on our live blog are saying about this morning, because this is certainly very much a hot-button issue.
Oh, yes, it definitely is. And I have to say, a lot of our bloggers this morning are very passionate, although we are getting both sides of the spectrum. So let's head on over to the live blog right now and see what everyone has to say this morning. One artist says they can build their mosque anywhere. It's the law. We may not like it, but it's the law. And Aaron says, I have no problem with building a mosque, but not there. Of all places, why there? And if you're just joining us this morning, I posted today's Buzz poll question on foxprovidence.com. Today we're asking, what do you think of the proposed mosque at Ground Zero in New York City? And your choices are A, build it, we all have freedom of religion, or B, it's offensive, that's sacred ground. And as always, our friends on Facebook are weighing in this morning. Becky DiStefano says, the mosque has zero to do with freedom of religion. This project is about slapping us in the face with our own political correctness. And Brian says, I, for one, don't feel it's a good idea. It's just going to start a bigger rift between religious differences, and more lives will be lost. And Amanda says, I do believe all religions should have a place for prayer, but in the case of where an American tragedy occurred, I suggest they move the site a few blocks away. So some really great comments this morning from our bloggers. Don't go anywhere, because I'll be back at the end of the show with your poll results. But for now, let's send it on over to the kitchen where Patrick is. How's it going?